Imagine walking into a room and without saying a word, everyone notices. The noise dies down, people straighten up, conversations shift. Not because you yelled, not because you demanded attention, but because something about you makes them alert. A feeling they can't explain, a presence that demands respect or fear. What if you could carry that power with you every day, not from violence, not from threats, but from the quiet force of your mind, a stoic mind? That is what this video will unlock for you. How to make people fear you, not by controlling them, but by mastering yourself. And when you learn how to rule your inner world, the outer world starts to obey. Most people think fear comes from shouting, power moves or dominance displays. But that's surface level. That's fear that fades. Real fear, the kind that stays, that lingers, that makes people think twice before crossing you, comes from stillness, unpredictability, and control. When you walk in silence, but your silence feels louder than their noise, they remember you. That's not just charisma, that's psychological weight. And weight like that doesn't come from words. It comes from discipline, from the wisdom of the ancients who understood the art of presence before modern psychology gave it a name. Start with unpredictability, because what people don't understand, they fear. When they can't predict your next move, they start to overthink every interaction with you. They read between lines that don't even exist. You don't need to threaten anyone. You just need to stop being predictable. When people can't read you, they don't trust what you'll do next. That distrust turns into caution. Caution grows into fear. Change your routines. Respond in unexpected ways. Speak when they expect silence. Stay silent when they expect words. Smile at strange moments. Pause when you should speak. Hold their gaze a second too long, or just walk away in the middle of a conversation. Not in rudeness, but in power. Unpredictability forces people to stay alert around you. They'll start asking themselves, what's going on in his mind? What is she thinking? And that mystery is your weapon. Now, pair that unpredictability with emotional control, because nothing makes people feel safer than knowing what makes you angry, what buttons to push. If they can read your face like a book, you're not a threat. You're a story they already know the ending to. But when they can't tell what you feel, when your expression stays calm, even in the heat of confrontation, they feel unsettled. That calmness isn't emptiness, it's a warning. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Think about that. Calm is strength. Calm is fear. If you can keep a level tone when others are shouting, they will start to lower their voices too. Not because you ask them to, but because your stillness makes their chaos look weak. And the moment you master your reactions, when you no longer need to explain, defend, or prove, you rise above the noise. People sense that, and they fear what they can't pull down to their level. Now look at how you move. Your presence is speaking before your mouth does. Posture is language. Walk into any room with your head held high, shoulders relaxed but firm, your eyes scanning, not in anxiety, but in quiet ownership. You don't need to rush. Every step you take should feel deliberate, like the ground waits for your foot. A fast walker looks anxious. A slow, deliberate stride says, "I belong here. I don't chase time. It follows me." And when you speak, don't fill the room with noise. Let your voice be calm, steady, and slow. Speak so people have to lean in to hear you. That little lean forward That's submission, without them even knowing it. Your words don't need to be many. They need to be sharp. A short sentence delivered at the right time with the right tone can silence a crowd louder than a scream ever could. Master eye contact. Don't look away too fast, and don't stare with aggression. Let your gaze be calm and heavy. When someone looks into your eyes and can't see fear, insecurity, or desperation, they get uncomfortable. Not because you're threatening, but because your eyes don't plead. They don't beg to be liked. And when you don't need approval, you gain power. People fear those who don't need them. Most of the world is addicted to being liked. So when someone walks in who doesn't ask for validation, who doesn't chase attention, they don't know how to handle it. And what people can't handle, they fear. Don't forget the power of silence. We live in a world that fears quiet. When things get tense, most people rush to fill the space with words. But silence, strategic silence, is a weapon. Let people sit in their own words. Don't rescue them with replies. Let the silence grow thick. Let them feel your calm while they fumble for something to say. It's unnerving, and it teaches them something. Your time, your words, your attention, it's not easily given. It must be earned. And there's another layer to this. Control how much of yourself you reveal. Never show all your cards. People are curious creatures. They want to know everything about everyone. But when you keep parts of yourself hidden, when you share only what's necessary and hold the rest close, you become mysterious. And mystery is powerful. It's not about lying. It's about being private. Let people wonder. Let them imagine. Their imagination will always make you more intimidating than anything you could actually say. Sometimes the shadows we cast are scarier than the real thing. Use that. Even in your reactions, stay unreadable. Don't react to gossip, praise, or insult the same way others do. If someone criticizes you and you stay calm, they question their own impact. If someone flatters you and you barely flinch, they realize they hold no power over your self-worth. That's the key. People fear what they cannot manipulate, and nothing is more frustrating, more intimidating than a person who cannot be moved by praise or insult. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, not emotions, and part of that nature is hierarchy, not in terms of wealth or status, but in internal discipline. The man or woman who rules themselves, who isn't dragged around by desire or fear, becomes a force of nature. And what do we do when nature speaks with power? We respect it or we fear it. That's you. Start building your own hierarchy within. Let reason rule emotion. Let purpose crush distraction. Let intention silence noise. That inner order radiates outward. People feel it. You don't have to say a word. They can sense it in how you sit, how you breathe, how you simply exist. Your stillness becomes heavier than other people's storms. That's what fear really is. It's not screaming, it's not rage, it's silence that doesn't break. Stillness that doesn't shake. A presence that doesn't ask for attention, but pulls it in anyway. And remember, power without wisdom is just destruction waiting to happen. The kind of fear you want to carry is not about harm. It's about command. It's about respect. It's about creating enough weight in your presence that people choose to stay in line, not because they're forced, but because stepping out of line around you feels dangerous. Not physically, psychologically. They fear disappointing you. They fear being exposed by your clarity. They fear being mirrored by your stillness. That's Stoic fear. Let others be loud. Let them show off. Let them fake power. You sit back. You observe. You speak when it matters. You walk when it's needed. You stay calm when chaos erupts. That contrast makes you unforgettable. It makes you feared, not by force, but by nature. Because people instinctively sense this person is not like the rest. And the truth is, we all carry this potential, the potential to become immovable, to become unreadable, to become the kind of person whose silence says more than others' speeches. But it takes work, daily work, moment by moment, choices, choosing not to react, choosing to pause, choosing to remain a mystery, choosing discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, strength over speed. If you do this, if you commit to this path, the fear people feel around you won't come from intimidation. It will come from awe, from deep, silent respect, from that strange discomfort people feel when they stand next to someone who truly knows themselves, who doesn't flinch, who doesn't chase, who walks like they've already won a battle others haven't even realized they're fighting. So, if you're ready to carry that kind of energy, then don't wait. Start today. One breath, one step, one moment at a time. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more weight. Be the weight and watch the room shift when you walk in. And if this stirred something inside you, if a part of you whispered, "This is who I want to be," then don't stop here. There's more. We're only getting started. The Stoic path is deep, and the deeper you go, the less the world can touch you. Stick with us and become the person others can't ignore and dare not cross.